There you go, folks. Well, something special today with this episode. I'm going to talk about sequels. Now, this episode happens to be the sequel of the Season 1 episode. Now, in that episode, I spoke about trilogies, but I didn't speak about many trilogies. I was only stating some that were in my mind. And it was mentioned by a fan that I missed out on Lord of the Rings. Now, that is a great trilogy. Now, the only reason why I didn't mention it in the episode because, well, I haven't seen all three films fully, and I'm not really a fan, but hey, it's a great franchise. The characters, the music, the costumes, and the cast, they're brilliant. And, well, with trilogies, you got sequels, and usually the second sequel of the trilogy is the best, the standout one. But many people like Return of the King over the Two Towers. So, yeah, and then you got The Hobbit, which, the prequel thing, and they've still got great characters and cast and whatnot as well. So, yeah, if I haven't seen something or not really a fan, that's why I don't mention it. But since on the topic of trilogies, I'm going to expand more. And yeah, Lord of the Rings, it's an epic, right? And another epic trilogy, which I did touch on, is Star Wars. Now, you can't go past Star Wars.
Ooh, Star Wars.
And
Ooh, Star Wars.
there's a voice. But yeah, everyone knows Empire Strikes Back is the best one. And yeah, A New Hope laid the ground for everything. And Return of the Jedi, well, it's bad now with all the new additions, but it's still a good follow-up, but not as big and good as Empire. And, well, you got Star Wars 7 coming out to nail everything and blow everything out of the water. Now, that's going to be a good sequel. On the line of sci-fi, you got Back to the Future. Back to the Future, pop culture phenomenon, classic film. I love Back to the Future too. It gave us hoverboards. It gave us a look at 2015, which we're in now. And there's been talk about hoverboards, but are they really real? Do they really, really work? Only time can tell. So yeah. And Back to the Future 3, it's sort of the black sheep. Like, it's got some great effects, good comedy, and all that, but some people felt it just didn't have as much like the second one. And that's tough when it comes to sequels. Like, when Jaws attacked the summer, and became the highest grossing film for 2 years, people had no idea how a sequel could work. Because, Steven Spielberg gives us the biggest film of the time and a true great. How the hell's a sequel going to work? Well, Jaws 2 came along. My favorite. It was a big hit, just over 200 million. Half of what the first one grossed, but it was the most successful sequel. Jaws 3 only grossed like, 50, and Jaws 4 grossed even less. And those two, they're bad. But Jaws 2 is the best sequel in Jaws, and one of the good sequels alone, So, and then, well, what else?
Mad Max.
Well, hey, Mad Max, laid the ground. Classic Mad Max 2. That defined action. Redefined revolution, just pound for pound. And then Beyond Thunderdome, not many people like that. And some people say Fury Road's a sequel, but George Miller himself, he just said it's a standalone. And there's not really much of a continuity going on, but hey, Mad Max 2, there you go. And then Beyond Thunderdome, follows on. And Fury Road, there's some fan theories connecting it. It's a bit plausible. Some fans hate it, but, hey, we got a new Max film. And it's sort of like a bit of a redo of number 2. It was planned to be an intercal. Few hints, so, yeah, and, well, intercals there. They're sequels to one film and prequel to another one. Like, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift is intercal. That's set after number 6, and it gets confusing. It's like, just continue the story. And that's what sequels can be good. Or you can get completely unrelated, like Zombie 2, made by Lucio Fulci, a famous Italian horror director known for directing some gory films like Zombie 2, which is the unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead, which in Italy is known as Zombie. And then Zombie 2 got a whole line of unofficial sequels, like Zombie Holocaust is known as Zombie 3, and then there's 2 others. It's like, what? So, yeah, they count them as the second and thirds, but they're not really. Speaking of horror, now, that's a load of franchises with so many sequels, You got Friday the 13th with a whole heap of sequels, and you got Amityville Horror with a number of sequels, a prequel, remake, and some remakes even get sequels like The Fly, the redo of The Fly got a sequel. It's alright, but David Cronenberg's first is the best, and The Fly 2, well, the new Fly 2, The original Fly 2, I mean, hey, the 50s, And, where was I? Oh yeah, and speaking of Friday the 13th, you know the good ones. 2 to Freddy vs. Jason. Halloween, I spoke about that, the good ones. 2, 4, 7. Child's Play. 2, 3, Curse, and Bride. See, right, Tom Mancini's first film, give him his grace, but it's a terrible film. Curse of Chucky, though, brilliant. Child's Play 7 is on its way, that should be good. Now, we're speaking of slashers, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, it gets a bit of a bad rap, but hey, it's good, it's a decent follow-up. Number 3, though, is a bit better. Then 4, it was gradually showing how the series came, and then Wes Craven's New Nightmare revamped it, and it was like, yeah, cool. Scream 2. My favorite Scream. Undeniably the best sequel in that franchise, and some people even say that's better than the first. And some sequels can be better than the first. Like, yeah, Empire Strikes Back, everyone's like, hey, that's better than the first, but people still love the first equally. And, well, superhero sequels. It's generally always the second one which is the best, Spider-Man 2, X2, The Dark Knight, and X-Men Days of Futures Past, Yeah, but, yeah, sequels, they can be good, but then they can be really, really shit. And infamous, like Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. It was made by Cannon Films, which is a big mistake. They never made a big blockbuster. They made some good cult classics. But yeah, Superman 4 was basically an unfinished film. Really bad effects, the budget was cut multiple times, and most of its money went into Masters of the Universe, which would have a sequel, but that was packaged into Cyborg, which got 2 sequels. Cyborg 2 was like Angelina Jolie's first film, and look how her career started. So if you start in a horror film or a bad sequel, you either fail or you get to Class A respect, and that's what happened with many of these celebs. Look at Johnny Depp. He started in A Nightmare on Elm Street. He came back for A Nightmare on Elm Street 6. Look where he went. So, and, well, yeah, speaking of her, Jamie Lee Curtis starred in Halloween. She got a pretty big career. So, they can't help. When some of these people, they return for the sequels, like Sigourney Weaver. She returned in all the Alien sequels, like Aliens, The man, James Cameron, who gave us great sequel. It's more of the sci-fi action than the sci-fi horror. Then, well, the infamous Alien 3. And
AVP.
Then the really shit Alien Resurrection. And then AVP Requiem, which they stuffed a bit. And then, well, you got Predator 2, not bad. Then Predators, and now you got Predator 3 coming along, so sequels are generally better welcomed than a remake or reboot. Like, well, let's... Oh,
Need to go to the dentist again?
I don't know what's with that voice, and last time I checked, dentists checked on teeth. The Dentist! Now, that was an early 90s horror film. That's got a sequel. I think that was direct-to-video. Now, direct-to-video, you got The Return of Jafar, one of the first direct-to-video sequels. That got a bit of flack because of the animation was a bit weaker, and then, like, it had most of the original cast come back, but Robin Williams was in it because he had a dispute with Disney. And then when King of Thieves came out, Robin Williams came back, and King of Thieves was more appreciated than Return of Jafar. Another direct-to-video Disney film is Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which is a fairly decent follow-up to Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, which was originally a different movie. Then they packaged it into a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was good, and then, yeah, they finished the trilogy with Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, and Rick Moranis, he quit acting. And, well, before Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, he was in Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters 2 gets a whole lot of flack. People say it's crap. It's got really good effects. The cast returned. Some even say it's a bit darker and scarier, which, I mean, hey, the subway scene with all the heads. You know, when I was a little skeleton, that scared me. And then the room was slime and that crazy Vigo the Carpathian, you know. And then, yeah, like Ghostbusters 2, of course it's not as good or better than the first, but it's a fairly good sequel. And then another sequel that gets a bad rap is Gremlins 2. But Gremlins 2 is awesome. It's so fun. Yes, it's not dark and gothic like the first. It's quirky and colorful. It's a fun sequel. You know, it's awesome. And there's talks about Gremlins 3, which may not happen. They may reboot it. And then, well, there's the infamous new Ghostbusters coming out. But we did get a Ghostbusters 3, and that's the 2009 Ghostbusters, the video game. So, this new Ghostbusters, look, it could be good or it could be shit. Like some sequels are. Like, well, let's talk about Saw. Now, Saw 2, bit full on, bit crazy, which horror sequels have to be. Saw 3 is seen as the best one. Saw 4, yeah, it's alright. 5, bit of a mixed bag with that one. 6, a bit better. And 7, just, yeah. And there's talk about H1 coming. So, look, at the end of the day, there's certain franchises that need a sequel, you know? And then there's been sequels being put on and off, like Jurassic World. That was on and off for 14 years. Look how well that's done. It's the 3rd highest grossing film ever. Well, if you count Gone with the Wind and the adjusted for inflation, Jurassic World is the 4th. But since they're not counting that, it's the 3rd. And if it ends up beating Titanic, wow. But hey, Star Wars 7, that's gonna beat everything. So, Cameron, yeah, you're lucky to hold the record, but Star Wars 7 is gonna obliterate your records, man. Because it's gonna be a great sequel. So, yeah, well, I'm not sure what trilogies I could speak about, you know, like, well, what did I miss? Alright, well, The Matrix, you know, Matrix Reloaded, good sequel. Revolutions, shit. The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, crap. Mummy Returns, a bit fun. Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, no. Had some good moments, but no. And Temple of Doom is a prequel, which makes Raiders of the Lost Ark a sequel, which is great, and Lost Crusade, great. And that's all I can think for the top of my head, so I'm gonna go. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll scare you later. It's a bit cold in here.